Good morning. Hey, I felt to jump on this morning and connect with you out there. Is in this day of digital sort of communication, which is it's something that's happened very rapidly um, later in my lifetime. I grew up with, you know, riding bikes and roller skates and being out in the neighbourhood, out in the street, and come home when the street lights go on. We had phone boxes, and all the parents they knew where we were, and if we got up to any mischief, our parents would soon find out. So this is a new medium for me, and for anyone who works with me, you would know that I the way that I work is very organic. I am spirit led in what I do, why I'm here, and how I work. So I can go from when I'm doing a bodywork session, for instance, in transformational bodywork, I might go from working with someone's pecs to then working on their left big toe because spirit tells me there's something that needs to be addressed there. So it's a very flow sort of way of working. And I work like that with my clients that I see online. So there's not a one size fits all. It's not a formula. There are certain skills and sort of guidelines and a little bit of format to keep it all together so that it doesn't all just sort of go off to on all these tangents. And I love it. I absolutely love what I do. I have always been a very spiritually connected person. As a child, I was the one that the teacher called Dreamboat, and I'd be there just daydreaming and imagining. And, at night, I did a lot of astral travel and always had this connection and this deep, heartfelt drive and passion to help make the world a better place. And that hasn't led to an easy life at times. And so for me, and it may be the same for you, it's been about taking situations, and it's at times very challenging situations, and finding the gift in that and transforming what has been a very difficult situation into something that helps me to grow, helps me to become who I am, the best who I am. And so obviously I'm still alive, I'm still here, and so I'm still working on that. And just the joy that I do receive from assisting others to create what they like in their life. It might be that you're struggling with family issues. It could be that, you might be a solo parent. You might be just struggling with your relationships financially. There's all sorts of things going on for us. And how to get to the other side, how to turn that the harsh reality of what's going on, how to turn that into your greatest gift, how to actually bring forth all that's in your desire to be in this world. And success means very different things for everyone. For one person, success might mean that there's time to spend with your family. For another person, it could be that they want this particular really nice car, or so it's about the mobility. And for others, it may be it's the freedom, it's the independence, it's the availability of choices. So I come back, we start off with where are you at, and what is it that you desire? What are your values? What would make you happy? What would give you joy? and finding out I love to find out who you are, because that from there, everything grows. It's that self-knowledge is that first point of call. It's like, hey, what are my values? How do I want to be remembered? What's the imprint that I want to put into this world? And how I work, as I said, is via this very intuitively, and I use a lot of sound healing frequency, and it's transformational sort of counselling, one-on-one and groups. And I'm just excited by that, because every time I work with someone, I also learn something, and we all learn something. And as a collective, we are there for one another. We learn from one another, we support one another, and we grow together. And to have that growing in the world is like, it's like the stone and the ripples. It's just phenomenal. I am so blessed to witness some of my clients who've gone into healing arts, because that is their calling, that is their passion. I'm also blessed to see healed relationships within families. And, that is such an area that I value so highly. I value that as a mother, as a grandmother. That when we heal things in our relationships, that spreads. That goes back in time, down our lineage, our ancestral lineage. It goes forward. And we do it right here, right now. And this doesn't mean that we have to rush around trying to change anybody. It all begins inside. It's inside. Who am I? How do I see this? What is my perception? And how do I grow and change and allow that change to be in the physical world? And as we change, transform, heal and grow, that ripples out, and that energetically affects the people around us. So for me, that is such a gift, and I have been blessed to have been put on that path by some very, very, just amazing. There were actually some men in my life who taught and just held that strength and that space for me when I was so angry and I was so blaming, and just in the victim of why things were happening to me and why I couldn't get where I wanted to be. And they put me into, they took me on a journey of discovering where I'd internalized beliefs that were affecting my energetic field. So it didn't matter how much I said, I want to do this, there was always that underlying, that energy that was working against what I wanted and who I wanted to be and what I wanted to create. And by going back into that and exploring it, and as a more mature, understanding person, as an adult, I was able to release and discharge the emotion of that, so that was not, sort of going off in my field all the time and attracting the experiences I didn't want. So this has been quite a journey for me, and really it's a lifelong one. And the pivotal point for me was going into where trauma was stored in my body, where the limiting beliefs were, and really clearing that. And that's how I live my life daily now. And I have for years. There's a continual, as Shrek would say, we're like onions. There's layers. So it's like we work through something and think, okay, all done and dusted. But then there's a deeper level. It may appear in your life next that, to go a bit deeper. So for me, what I absolutely value in life is spaces in which I can be authentically me, where I can be messy, I can be angry, I can be sad, all those things that we spend so much effort masking to be acceptable to others. And, we do live in a world where that has been our programming. Don't be real. You must be perfect. You must have your house clean, have your makeup done, have this, have this car, have this, that, and surface. Whereas under, you go beneath the surface, and often people's, they're treading water because there's not that authenticity. And so when I work with people, I ask and I press for authenticity, and no emotion is unacceptable. No emotion is unacceptable. It is energy in motion, and we get to what that is, and then working with that, not against it, but work with it to bring healing, to bring it to a place where it's not vibrating at such a high rate that it's affecting our lives. This leads us into inner child work. It leads us into forgiveness. It leads us into, all sorts of, all these layers, all these areas. And to get to that place where there's a clarity. There's such a clarity, and can feel the shift in the energy, the shift in, it reflects on people's faces. It reflects in the body. It releases parts of the body that have been, just really stuck in defense, in fight or flight. And we're releasing that as we work. So it is a gentle form of working, but also at times a taxing way of doing it, because there's no way around. There's only through. So I guide people, I hold your hand, I'm there, and I'm support bringing out the very best in you, as I have had others do for me. And if you'd like to know more, just shoot me a message, say hi. This morning, it's a beautiful morning. It's the 7th of March. We're in Pisces now, and with a Virgo full moon. I am a Piscean with a Virgo moon, and at this point in time, it's just so transformational. And this is the perfect time to really commit to working out, sweeping out those dark corners, bringing in the light, and moving forward with more clarity, with more peace, and knowing that you're a powerful creator and that you create everything in your life. And if there are things that you've created that you don't like, that you struggle with, you have the power to change that. You have the power to create differently. I believe in you. Absolutely. Okay, you're amazing. And I'm sending lots of love, and I can feel you now. And wow, we're in powerful times of change, and this is just the best time to be alive. Lots of love.